problem. Of course, right now we are talking with Sarah Gilman. She's a licensed marriage and family therapist, and there's a lot of things going on in this industry, if you want to call it that, but there are issues. Good to see you. First of all, the Affordable Care Act. It is changing the way we look at drug abuse and substance abuse, isn't it?
Yes, now it's required that insurance companies have to provide addiction treatment.
Which makes it an illness, and more people are recognizing it as such.
Right. You know, in 1951, the World Health Organization defined it, alcoholism, as a medical disorder. And in 1956, the American Medical Association qualified it as a disease. And here we are. Yeah. Insurance companies are required now to provide coverage for addiction.
It only took 6 more decades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So how do you think this will affect the treatment?
Well, hopefully what it's going to do is provide more people, more coverage, hopefully earlier in this disease. And the other thing that I'm hoping will happen is that it will reduce the stigma. There's an awful stigma with this disease beyond any stigma with any other disorder. And it really prevents people from getting the help that they need because they're hiding out, they're ashamed.
It'll bring it out of the closet, so to speak.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah. And in so doing, let's transition into the other part of this, is that this is a family situation. It isn't just about the abuser.
It's a family and community situation. It's over $600 billion in cost to us. In fact, if you put substance abuse costs into one, it's greater than obesity, smoking, and diabetes put together. So this is costly to everybody. And hopefully families, now that there's insurance coverage, can reach out sooner. I don't think people have to wait anymore to hit rock bottom. There's treatment available.
Let's talk about those families, because there's so many different types of families these days. You have the drug abuser who lives alone or perhaps with a partner, and then you have the drug abuser in blended families. There are so many different structures.
Right, and you have teenagers and you have young adults and older people and elderly people. And so one size of treatment does not fit all. So you really have to look at a comprehensive approach and take it person by person and treat the whole person. It doesn't just affect our physiology. It affects our sense of family, our communication, our biology. It affects every aspect of life.
And interesting to note as well, it's not just about weeks or months or even years. This could be generations of a problem.
Oh, absolutely. We see it in families, and also we know for a fact that it's a fatal illness if left untreated. People are still dying, and the recovery rates are still very low. So hopefully, now that insurance is on board more nationally, that people can get help sooner.
So you see this all the time in your work. How do you take that first step if you have a family member that you suspect or know that's struggling with this? It's not always easy to approach.
Right. It's very difficult because of the stigma and the shame, and because people don't understand the disorder. They think it's just somebody acting badly, and it's not. So one place you can call in California, you can go on counselingcalifornia.com, and you can put in your zip code, and you can come up with a licensed marriage and family therapist who specializes in addiction in your area. There are so many resources out there. It's time now not to stop, but to take the risk and move forward. It is a disease, and it is progressive. It will get worse.
And this isn't something you do once or twice with a therapist. This is something that you need to make a commitment to.
Right, and you just keep going until things begin to fit, and it's a comprehensive therapy. Medical doctors need to be involved, and recovery counselors, and so it's really a collaborative treatment team that works the best.
And going full circle with this, it comes back to Covered California and some of the things that are being offered now that'll make this somewhat, at least easier when it comes financial.
Yes, there's nothing worse than having to turn somebody away who's potentially dying from a fatal illness because they don't have coverage.
A fatal illness, that's what it is.
Yes, it is.
All right, Sarah.